Okay, so here's what it looks like. My lights are on. I have the parts to fix this, so I'm going to fix it later. I just want to show you what it looks like. This is my dashboard, my 99 S70. I've got the part, like I said, I ordered it from Midwest ABS. This is the engine in my Volvo, my S70 1999 Volvo. I have to take off this air cleaner, and underneath that is my ABS. It's back over here. You may be able to see it. It's right there. You see it right there? I gotta take the bottom portion of that off and replace it. It's not too hard to do. I'll get started and I'll turn this back on to let you know and get the sticky points. First of all, you take this off and then get out from there, okay? You can see I started taking it apart. I got this part off and I gotta take this out, put it over there somewhere. We're gonna have to remove this cover here. You don't have to do a lot. You take this off, get it off to the side, okay? Take the filter out. Now this is not bolted in or anything. You just gotta kind of grab it. You gotta slide it away from here because there's a little peg over here. So you pull a little bit to the side, and it should just come right out. Not a huge deal. Okay, just pull it out, and you see there it is, right over there, right like that. That's what I have to take off. I can take off this. To do that, you just slide this back like that, and it automatically just kind of pops up. You see that? And then that just pulls off. Okay. And then you have another little connector right here. You just kind of squeeze it and pull it off. See, I don't know if there's any squeeze. Oh, yeah, you squeeze on the side there, and you pull it up. Okay. Now this part has to right underneath it. Bolts to the bottom of this piece. It bolts onto that. Right underneath here are the 4 screws. Now they're torque head, but they're not the screw type torque. You have to have a socket. Okay. I'll show you what they look like when I get them out. But and you can see that I might have a little more access because I have a little bit of I'm missing some of my appendages here, so it's easy for me to get underneath here. But I think you can do it okay yourself. Go ahead and just try. You can. There's 4 bolts underneath there, and I received the rebuilt one of these. I'll show you in a little bit from, like I said, Midwest ABS, and they sent me a little socket to use to take those off, and I'll send it back when I'm finished. There's a 15-day time frame that he wants it back with the socket, and I think it's a great deal. I'll give you more information about that company later, but you can get your part from them, and he seems very reasonable. So let me get started. Let me go get my stuff, and I'll come back, and I'll see you here in a few minutes. Right. I just want to show you what I would, like I said, Midwest ABS up in Michigan. That's where this part came from. I think I purchased it for $89 on a Tuesday evening, and I got it Thursday. So this is the old module and socket that must be returned within 15 days. Okay, in the original box. So here it is, and he sends you this nice information. Here's his card. This is the guy, Matt Pollock, and he's from Michigan. So check that out if you need to find it. I think you'll find it very reasonable. We keep the packaging because we're going to need this packaging. It's the old one back. The rebuilt one. I'm going to show you something. You see how the rivets here, they're kind of filed down, and you can see that's kind of cut away. If you look really close, you can see a gap there. So that's because inside of this is where the soldering has to take place when we rebuild them. Right here is a power plugs. Well, just on the other side of that, typically is where the faults are. Okay, so they take this whole top up. It's a lot of work. You can't do it yourself. That's why they send them away. They take that off, and they'll resolder all the connections in there. Okay, and this is a piece that we're going to remove, and this is a new one we're going to put on. Okay, I forgot to mention there's a socket that he sent with me too. All right, that's what we'll be using to take off this. And I just took my socket wrench. I used the ratchet part and gave the screws a little twist, loosened them a little bit. Doesn't take much to unpop them. Okay, I was really concerned because of the different kind of a torque head here. I don't want to strip those off because then I'd have a real problem. But they snugged off pretty easily. Just tapped them a little bit and they came right off. Didn't take much. But now that I got them loose, I'm going to just use my adapter. This is a 1/4 inch drive, or a smaller 1/8 inch drive, so I put on the 1/4 inch drive. And I'm gonna just use it like a screwdriver to get the screws out the rest of the way. Like I said, because I have the benefit of more streamlined situation, I can get at the screws pretty easy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in on all 4 of these and loosen them all up. 1, 2. The last one in the back there was a kind of tough one because we had this cable in the way a little bit, but I worked around it and I got it off. But I'm going to go out through now and I'm going to take all those off with my attachment here, like a screwdriver, and pull those screws out. And I'll show you what they look like when I'm done. Okay? All right. I got all 4 of the screws off. This is what they look like. Okay, I'm holding on because this slides off really easily. So these are what the screws look like. They're long and they got the little head on them like that. So I'll put that in my pocket. Okay, so now here, this is the piece. Just pulls right off, drops right off there, and this is the one. Now, this is what we're going to send back to Matt. Have to fix this one. You see how this doesn't have quite as much to go. You can't see the new glue on there. He's going to cut that along that seam probably. He's going to take those rivets and clean them off there. You know, it looks like this one might have been done before. This might be a replaced previously one. This I've had this car for about 5 or 6 years, but it appears to me this one maybe was taken apart before. Maybe, maybe not. We'll send it back to Matt, let him take care of it. But this is the one. I'm going to check the part numbers, make sure it matches up before I put the new one on. And we'll see how it goes. All right. Okay, let's take a look. Here's the old one, here's the new one. Okay, let me turn this off and examine these and make sure it's the identical match. Checked everything out there, it's identical. So I'm going to pop this on there, just like the old one was. Okay, let's see if I can get a good grip on this. All right. Slide it up on our pegs, nice and easy. There we go. Okay, let me put this down while I get my screws. So I use my little attachment here just to put the screws on. A little snug right now. I got that thing all put back on there, nice and snug. So what I'll do now is I'm going to go through and put my ratchet end on here. Tighten them a little bit tight. I'm not going to crank it down too tight because they weren't on really tight in the first place, and I don't want to wreck anything. Just good and snug. Okay, nice and snug, and that should be. I'll hook everything back up, and we should be good to go. We'll check it out. I got that in place. I tighten it down with my ratchet, so everything looks good. Now what I have to do is put the connections back in. Now we can make sure we put them on good and tight. That one get clipped in place. You heard that clip in? Oh, maybe you didn't see it, but I put this one right in there. I clipped it in good and tight. That one right there. It's clipped in. And I'm going to put this one on. You gotta use my right hand to do this. Okay, I gotta put this right on. Put it on there, okay, and push it down. Now, the point is you gotta make sure it's good. On there good, and when you close the lid, should suck it up. If you get it right there just right, and you give it a little, it sucks it up. Oh, my box just blew away. And that should be that. That should be all set. Okay, now I'll put the rest of the stuff together and we'll see how it works. Just put it right down in there. You see the hole back there for this. Push the top in there and then it push down and it clips into place. Like that. Put it back in. Okay, put it back on. Okay, and the rest is clipping and stuff like that. Put this back in place. Oh, okay, and I'll just okay. I want to let you know this only took me like 20 minutes. My wife even gives much time to do that. She'll be happy to know. But let's see how it works now. Start up. Her lights go, everything went off. I gotta get rid of that service light there, but it should be all set. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Let's go take a look at. Let's go pack up our stuff and send it back to Matt. All right. I'll package this back up and send it to Matt. Got my socket here and everything. I got the address everywhere. So let's wrap this all back, send it back. 20 minutes. That was a pretty quick job. All right. Now, one thing I want to mention, you probably saw there was a service indicator light on. That was just a service indicator light. We can reset that. That's not an engine issue. Okay. There were some engine issues some lights came on, warning lights. I OBD'd them. I got the typical 0600 for communication error. I got a couple generic 1057s here and there, but I reset them. The transmission light did flash once. It seemed to be a speed sensor, but again, a communication error. I'm taking a look at that, but I think that this should clear everything up because it's all kind of tied together. So I got the ABS light and the skid light came on, and the service engine soon light came on. I cleared those codes that were 0600s, and everything is pretty much all set. We're gonna give it a shot, and again, it's a 20-minute job, real easy deal. And I'm just a backyard mechanic. I have no professional experience, so you can do it too. All right? Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.